What does Spartan offer that's different? What makes you better?
I would say our pricing strategy is different. So we take a kind of I like to say a scalpel approach to our pricing. So we have somebody who focuses purely on revenue management. So the REITs might do wide sweeping price changes or increases, but we focus on by property, by day, the rental rates comparable to the other facilities using technology and using a sniper approach really to the pricing strategy. So that makes us different. We're also a little bit more involved locally in the markets that we're serving, and obviously having a much smaller footprint in totality, we're able to kind of be more niche in where we find specific properties.
For clients who are deciding between maybe doing single family or multifamily, what are the things that would turn them towards self-storage?
Yeah, I would say, people get in real estate because of the tax, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tax advantage. Multifamily, single family storage is all advantaged in tax. The second thing people look at is economies of scale. And self-storage and multifamily are very similar. You can buy one property and have many units under one roof. Single family, hard to scale that because it's all kind of scattered. And length of stay of a tenant is pretty similar across the different asset classes. We find that in our portfolio, we have an average stay of well over 30 months.
Oh, wow.
So our customers are pretty sticky. But really the three major reasons why people would come over to storage that are not in multifamily or single family, which the returns are very similar and tax advantages are very same. But we get automation. So someone can come to our site, book a unit online, book a unit with a QR code, move themselves in and pay. And so that doesn't really exist in single family and multifamily. The other thing that we have is we have rent recapture, which is a fancy way of saying if you don't pay for your storage unit, we can boot you out within 30 days typically, or put you into the auction process within 30 to 90 days, depending on the state, depending on the rules for that state. We really don't have the eviction problems that single and multifamily have. And then the last thing is just maintenance is way more simpler, right? Like you have a box.
Replacing carpet.
Yeah, there's no replacing carpet, drywall, appliances, water heaters. We have a much lower CapEx budget, and the employment is lower, right? We can have a facility that's unmanned and fully automated, or we might only have one or two employees that operate a site.
That's so true, because our recent storage unit, I found it online. I get in through an app. I don't think I've even seen a person ever there.
Yeah. So it's it can be a great low expense business overall.
Also, in comparison, you said the ROI is similar. So what type of ROI can a client or an investor expect to get?
Yeah, typically our investments project doubling your money in 5 years. So anywhere between typically about a 20% annualized return for a 5-year hold. So if you put in $100,000, you'd get that back plus $100,000 on top.
And then what's sort of the minimum investment or the ideal investment amount?
Yeah, our minimums are $100,000. Yeah, so that's pretty typical investment across our portfolio. Our average family in our portfolio wide across all investments is about $550,000, but typical investment's about $100,000.
And in terms of technology with the signing in and logging in, what sort of dashboard or interface, how is the client keeping up with the investment?
Yeah, we have a full investor dashboard. So you can go to our website, spartan-investors.com, log into our dashboard. You can see all your documentation, all the due diligence, investor updates that come out every month, get put on your dashboard. K1 material, the original investment, all the prospectus and underwriting and projections are all on there. And that's actually where you sign up for the investment and subscribe and sign the offering documents for the deal.
So if you already have a dashboard, are you able to easily get into new projects as well?
Unfortunately, the industry hasn't really done that very well. You kind of have to be invited one-off to each operator's dashboard.
That darn SEC. Right?
I know. Yeah, it's kind of unregulated, but it's a regulated industry, and there's little barriers in technology and stuff like that. But yeah, it's easy to access kind of once you find your way around it. So
in terms of taxes, a new investor, are they going to expect to see a lot of losses coming, like tax losses, not obviously cash flow losses, but tax losses? So is that sort of, if you've got a high salary or if you've got a lot of gains in another place, is this a good investment to go to in those years?
Yeah, so we do a cost segregation study and bonus depreciation. So you, as an investor, I don't give any tax, legal, or investment advice. That's what you guys do. But typically our investors are going to get a K1 in the first fiscal year they invest that has losses. And so those losses are going to give you passive losses that you can then hand to your CPA, and depending on the other income that you have, if it's passive income, typically it's a great way to mitigate those gains. Active income or earned income, if you're a highly paid professional, is going to depend on your status as a real estate professional.
Yep.
So those may or may not apply, depending on your situation. But at the end of the day, these investments are kicking off depreciation that you can use against other passive activity.
And that's really kind of a secondary benefit because
Yes.
it is an investment. You are earning money from it, right?
Exactly, and that's what people say. Like, what's the difference between making 8% on a stock and 8% in a real estate deal? It's like, well, 8% in the stock, you're going to pay the full freight on taxes. Real estate's usually going to come with some depreciation. You might get as much as a 30 to 40% tax break on that 8% gain. So it's a really nice investment hedge for tax purposes. Yeah.
So how can people get a hold of you or find out more info?
Yeah, so you can go to our website, Spartan, SPARTAN -investors.com. Or you can email me at Ryan, RYAN, at Spartan-investors.com.
Or you can come join us at one of the
Yeah,
tax
why don't you
and asset protection
Exactly.
events. Talk to us in person.
Yeah, we're here. We've got the booth in the back, and we had a good presentation on self-storage investing. So
Learn
yeah, it's
all
good.
the ins and outs.
Yep, that's right.
All right, thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome. Thanks.